Okay, this is Algebra 1. This is S1P5, looking at number 1. Remember, you don't have to read what's above the graph. So, according to this graph, which of the time intervals best represents the time period when annual sales were greater than 700? So, you got to go find 700, okay? And we needed to be greater, so we needed to be above it. So, from here, and it's above it until here. So, this is right here. So we're looking at somewhere between 97 and 98, probably 98 to 2002. That's going to be C. Number 2, the length of a particular rectangular kitchen countertop is 5 feet longer than its width, W. The perimeter P is the countertop is best described by which equation? I like to draw a picture. Okay. My length is 5 feet longer than its width, W. So my width is W. 5 feet longer means it's W plus 5. Perimeter means to add all sides. So we've got to take W plus 5 and add it to W. And then you could write it again, or you know that you're going to have 2 of these and you're going to have 2 of these. Because if all you do is add W plus 5 and W, you only get halfway around. So we're not multiplying. We're not multiplying. And if all you do is add these 2, you only get halfway around. So it's going to be 2 times W plus 5 plus 2 times W. Number 3, Colton prepares. Okay, this is a long paragraph. My suggestion is start, go find your equations, your math, and then go find your question. What will be the effect of this change on the amount charged? Okay, so where was your change? We went from a plus 50 to a plus 35. This is the number by itself, the constant. You got to remember that the number by itself is what we call the starting point. Okay? So, is it the amount he charges for each return or the amount he charges per hour? Per hour meant that it should have been times X. So, it's not these. So did it go up or down? It went from 50 to 35. It went down, which is a decrease. Which of these mappings best describes the function negative x squared plus 4? You want to go to your calculator at y equal, clear it out, and you want to say negative x squared plus 4. Go to your table, and looking at the first one, that table starts at negative 3. Negative 313 does not work. So negative 3, negative 5 is good. Negative 2, 0 is good. 1, 3 is good. And 3, negative 5. This works. But you don't stop there. You go ahead and check the others. Negative 2, negative 8. No. Negative 3, negative 5. No. It didn't take any time at all. Go ahead and spend the time and make sure. B is your answer. Number 5, which of the expressions below is equivalent to what they've given you? What you want to do here, so that you don't have to worry about signs and things like that, is you want to put it in your home screen. Now we've got 2 letters going on. We've got to assign a value to x and to y. To assign the value, you go like 2, it doesn't matter what number, I like small numbers. Store x, enter. And then we'll go 3, store your green alpha, and then 1 is your y, enter. So I've stored values. Okay, so now I'm going to put the problem they gave me in. Negative 4x, open, 3x plus 5y, so alpha 1, close, plus 6xy minus 2x, open, y plus 4. Okay, negative 160 is what I'm looking for. It has nothing to do with those answer choices, does it? But negative 160 I'm going to write down so I remember that's what I need it to be. Okay, so let's try A. Negative 12x squared plus 5y plus 4xy plus 4. I get negative 5, so I know that it is not going to be A. So now let's try B. Negative 12x squared plus 24 xy plus 8x. 1/12. That's not what I need either, so it's not B. So negative 12x squared minus 16xy minus 8x. Negative 160. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. Once again, on the day of the real test, you want to go ahead and check D2 just in case. Number 6, a pet store owner plans to order from 50 to 80 tropical fish to restock his tanks. The prices of the fish range from $2.25 to $5.25 each. If the fish supplier charges a shipping fee of 75 cents per fish, which of the following is not a reasonable price for the fish, including shipping? Okay, so smallest possibility is to order 50 and to pay $2.25. Most expensive possibility is to order 80 and to pay $5.25. Now, there is also 75 cents per fish. So we're also going to have to do 50 times 0.75 or 80 times 0.75. You're multiplying here, okay? So take your calculator, and for the least amount, you got 50 times 2.25 plus 50 times 0.75. 150 is the least amount. Okay, then we're going to do it again with 80 and 5.25. So 80 times 5.25 plus 80 times 0.75. So it's somewhere between 150 and 480. 150 to 480. They want to know, and you're looking here like, well, that works, that works. They want to know which one's not. Does 195 fall between them? Yes, and so it like works. 295, it falls in there. 395, it falls in there. 495 is too big. So there's your answer. You got to read the question carefully. If negative 3 is one of the solutions to the quadratic equation x squared plus x plus c equals 0, where c represents an unknown constant, what is the value of c? Okay, so we know that a solution is negative 3 and that it is quadratic. If negative 3 is a solution, thinking back to factoring, we know that the factors of c, when you combine them, have to equal the number in front of x. We also know that solutions and factors have opposite signs. So if my solution is negative 3, then my factor is 3. So it's got to be x plus 3, and then x plus something else. But it's got to equal 1. So what can you combine with 3 to get equal 1? Would you agree that 3 minus 2 is 1? So that means we're going to use this, but you're going to have the opposite sign. So the answer is 2. And that is very confusing, and I will think on it and try to come up with a better way to explain it or a better way to solve it. But this would be like saying x minus 2. So I will work on that and try to find you a better solution, but the answer is 2. Number 8, the number of, I really don't want to read it all if I can. I have an equation, and I want to know if 51 passengers board, how many minutes will it take? Well, 51 passengers. Which one is passengers? Passengers is y. So 51 is going to go in here. So it's like 51 is equal to 150 minus 2x squared, no, minus 2x, minus x squared. So I have an equation, so I would go to y equal. And at y1, I would put everything before the equal sign, which is 51. At y2, I would say 150 minus 2x minus x squared. So then I would go second, calc 5, because anytime I have something at y1 and y2, I need to know where they cross. Let it draw, enter, 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 and that says 9. X is equal to 9. So there's your answer. Okay, that's all of S1P5.